In this question, we are talking about the population of a village is 4,620. The ratio of children to women to men is given in the ratio of 5 is to 7 is to 8. Show that the number of women in the village is 1617. For A part 1, so whenever we need to find the number of women and whenever the total number of people in village is given, so we have to follow this ratio. So here the number of women will be equals to the ratio for women, which is 7, and divided by the total ratio. So the total ratio is basically 5 plus 7 plus 8. So 5 plus 7 plus 8 is 20. So it has to be 7 over 20 multiplied by the total value. And the total value is nothing but 4620. Now, if I type this one in the calculator, so we will be getting the answer to be 1617. And this is the answer. So whenever we need to find the ratios, you have to take the ratio which is given for women divided by the total ratio. So that would be the fraction of the population who will be women. And that's the right answer for part 1. And next, for A part 2, we are talking about during the last 10 years, the number of women has increased from 1475 to 1617. Calculate the percentage increase in the number of women. So whenever we talk about calculating the percentage increase, so first of all, we need to figure out what is the original value and what is the new value. So the original value in this case is 1475. So the original value is 1475 and the new value is, because we are talking about finding the percentage increase, and the new value is 1617. So in that case, the percentage increase should be the increment, whatever is the increase happened, divided by the original value. So which is 1617 minus 1475. And this entire thing divided by the original value, which is 1475. And this one we need to multiply it with 100 to get it in terms of percentage. Let's see what is the result we will be getting it if we put this one in the calculator. So on the calculator, I'm going to write it in the form of fraction. So 1617 minus 1475, and that entire thing divided by 1475, and this one multiplied by 100. And if I convert this into decimals, so that's going to give us the answer to be 9.627. So for 3 significance figures, so we can also say it as 9.63%. And this is what is the increase. And this is the right answer for the sum for part 2. And next, if I talk about part B, the population of 4,620 is expected to decrease 5%. Calculate the population following this decrease. Now, for this one, the original value is 4620. So whenever we talk about percentage increase or a percentage decrease, we can also think about finding a multiplier, then the answer. So here the multiplier will be, because we are talking about it's a decrease, it has to be 1 minus 6%, sorry, 1 minus 5%, because we are talking about 5% decrease. So when I say 1 minus 5%, 5% is same as 0.05. So 1 minus 0.05 would be just 0.95. So the multiplier has to be 0.95. And here, the new value will be, is something that we need to find it here. So we need to know the relationship, that is original value multiplied by the multiplier will always give us the new value. And here the original value is 4620 and the multiplier is 0.95. And this will give us the new value. So that if I do it in the calculator, so I'll be getting 4620 times 0.95. And that's going to give us 4389. 4389. So after a decrease, the new population would be 4389. And that's the right answer for part B. And if I talk about part C, the number of children is now 1155. This is an increase of 65% on the number of children 20 years ago. Calculate the number of children 20 years ago. Yeah, the number of children that we should never ever do it like in this one, the number of children 20 years back, 20 years ago. So that I'm going to take it as just X. So that is something that we need to find it. And this would act as the original value. And most of us will make a mistake in something like finding 65% of 1155, then subtracting it from 1155. So that is something that we should never ever do it. So basically you can remember this rule, that is never ever find the percentage on a new values. So which means first of all, whenever the question is given, you need to figure out what is the new value and what is the original value. And we should never ever calculate the percentage on the new value. So here, this would act as, this X will act as the original value. And here the multiplier would be, and because we are talking about it's an increase. So multiplier would be equals to 1 plus 65%. So which is going to be 1 plus 0.65. So which is 1.65. So 1.65 will be the multiplier. And we can use the relationship that is original value times multiplier is equals to the new value. And the original value here would be unknown, which is X. And the multiplier is 1.65. And the new value is 1155. So when we do this, we will be getting the value of X to be 1155 divided by 1.65. This one, if I put it in the calculator, so we get exactly 700. So 20 years back, 20 years back, the number of children is 700. And that's the right answer for the sum.